Hello everyone. Today I'm going to be discussing the recent state and drama that has been unfolding at Brime. For those of you unaware of Brime, they're essentially a streaming service that is currently in the making. So some of you may be questioning why the Brime logo has recently changed, and for the answer to that, we must first look into the ban and removal of a Discord user by the name of Take-Two. You see, Take-Two is the one who made all of the Brime logos at the time. All of this work was for free. After the recent issues between himself and Brime, the Brime owner has decided to abruptly ban him. So, without further ado, we'll be looking into the reason why Brime has banned Take-Two and why Brime is potentially the one in the wrong here. On July 15th, 2020, Brime made a statement in their announcements in Discord that there has been lies spread about them. And as a result of those supposed lies, they'll be filing a suit for defamation and harassment. Now, naturally, a decent chunk of the community had no clue of what this was about. So, I asked in the Discord who will be attempting to sue. One of the individuals in the Discord stated that it was none of my or the rest of the community's business. However, I believe that they made it our business by posting a public claim and saying that they wanted to be transparent. Of course, my question was never answered. Later in the day, a new section in their Discord was created. It was labeled Take-Two The Truth. In it were an odd jumble of statements and screenshots, some stating that Take-Two is bad, and other bits having almost nothing to do with them. In all honesty, it didn't seem like an understandable statement when grouped together, but instead, a random jumble of statements. The owner of Brime states how he came into contact with Take-Two and how he offered his services for free, and how Brime made attempts to pay him for his services, but those offers being rejected. The posting then jumps to the owner of Brime posting about how someone got into their system and how he reported them to the police. Of course, he never made the statement of how he grabbed the IP of the person who did this, but only stated this in DMs with Take-Two. I'm currently confused as to why the owner of Brime would post this, as it has nothing to do with Take-Two. The next statement made by the owner of Brime was that Take-Two made other pieces of art for them, and how, again, they were for free. The next statement after this was how the owner of Brime was again approached by someone who had doxed him, but not only did the doxer go after the Brime owner, but they also went over after the person that originally got into the server, which didn't quite make sense, as this, again, has nothing to do with Take-Two. And even in itself, the statement made, quite literally, made no sense. The owner of Brime then jumps to how Take-Two apparently became demanding, and how the other members of staff either didn't like or trust Take-Two's actions. However, after speaking with Take-Two on this topic, it was shown to me that in fact, not the entirety of the staff team disliked him, or at least from what he has seen based on these screenshots given. The only individual who might have had a disliking, or at least open disliking, towards Take-Two would have been Vader. Again, however, another individual that might have had in the very beginning, had a good relationship with Take-Two after the recent whole art scandal, did not like Take-Two, which would be Gandalf. The next statement made was that Take-Two had sent an IP grabber to members of the community. Yet, when Take-Two discussed this situation with me, it was only directed towards one person. The owner of Brime then moves on to talking about how Take-Two has said mean things to different members of the community. However, based on my interactions with Take-Two and seeing his actions in the past, I have no reason to believe this statement, especially since it isn't even backed by proof by the owner. The owner then moves on to how he feels regret for accepting Take-Two into the staff team and how he's very sorry to the community. He then sends a screenshot of a DM with Take-Two discussing how he trusts him. Or I should say, trusted him. The owner then posts saying that he'll be back later to post even more. The owner of Brime later makes a statement about how Take-Two's attitude changed when staff members and community members began to avoid him. He also states that Take-Two has been saying that Brime has stolen his artwork, yet when speaking with Take-Two he says he's never said that anywhere, in which I believe him, since after doing a bit of digging, I found absolutely nothing that would suggest this claim. Alongside with all this drama going down, honest supporters of Brime are still being banned without warning or reason. Like me, Matthew was shadow banned without reason. During all times when seeing Matthew speak in the Discord, he gave support and active suggestions as to what he would like to see in the future site. Personally, I think that the current majority of the moderator team is biased and are not issuing reasonable or fair bans, along with the owner's doings. I have made several statements towards the owner of Brime after he made comments of the future TOS. He claims that my ban was likely due to a bot and how I was likely warned by the bot several times, yet after proving that I wasn't banned by the bot and instead by his abusive staff member, he makes the claim that I like to spam the chat, which is absolute false. It's completely false. Especially since now that there are time locks in the chat that can range from anywhere from 5 to even 60 seconds in length, making it almost impossible to spam. After the community and myself have been constantly asking Brime on several occasions to add a PR team of sorts, the Brime owner claims that Take-Two was in that position. However, after asking Take-Two, he denies being in this position at all, and I believe him since during his time in the Discord, he's never held such a role or displayed that type of role to anyone in the public. Another odd thing I found out about Brime and their unprofessionalism is the fact that they've been going over to separate Twitch channels, sending their own users or future users as well as potential somewhat staff members over to other people's Twitch channels and chats, saying hi from Brime, effectively advertising and spamming chats. Ultimately, my view on the current state of Brime is this. They seemed like a good group in the beginning that had good intentions, especially based on how they acted with the community, and how they wanted to build a better site compared to Twitch. However, due to all their recent actions on Twitter with wild posts such as the Wendy roasts, due to their actions in their Discords from their odd and wild claims to unjust bannings, I cannot personally trust this future service. For their sakes, I honestly hope that Take-Two is lying. However, again, due to all their past and current actions, I am seriously doubting their legitimacy and professionalism. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, then please feel free to bring them up with me. If at any point I've gotten something wrong, then please let me know. Other than that, thank you for watching and have a lovely day. Now, I also have had a personal conversation with Take-Two. I'm going to go ahead and send you the complete and almost... Actually, no. You know what? Screw that. I'm going to send you the complete raw footage of this in a separate post, and I'll have it linked in the description below. Thank you for watching, and have a lovely day.